Last night on MasterChef Australia,
Your elimination challenge is to cook one ingredient.
Arena and Shannon went head-to-head.
To be brutally honest, I expected a little bit more.
But it was Arena who paid the price. Tonight, a very special masterclass. Miguel Maestra reveals the secret to an awesome Spanish classic.
Amazing.
That's spot on.
Gary's tutorial.
Who's really bad at pastry?
A sweet tribute to Nigella Lawson.
It's not too rich.
Oh, yes, it is. It's fabulous.
And for two of our contestants,
This has to be the best ever private masterclass we've ever had.
with Rick Stein
Laksa. Got to be laksa.
and Chef Juan
Oh boy, they are very fiery.
in Kuala Lumpur. But who will be chosen to go?
This is a life-changing experience for someone.
I absolutely love masterclass. There's no competition, it's all about learning. This is the 6th masterclass that we've had, and I wish I could have more than just one a week. They are so helpful. Masterclass is where you learn those tricks of the trade that can really get you over the line.
Hello, you lot. Welcome back to the MasterChef kitchen. And of course, welcome to Masterclass. We've got lots of surprises in store. It's going to be a cracker of a masterclass. You may notice that it's George's day off. I'm here on my own. I feel very lonely. But that doesn't mean we don't have a fantastic masterclass. Every week, a couple of you are lucky enough to go out and do a private masterclass. And this week, let me tell you, is an absolute stunner. Two of you this week are going to learn from an internationally recognized English chef. He's written 11 cookbooks. He owns 4 top UK restaurants. And this might give it away, but he also owns the UK's best fish and chip shop. He's a personal inspiration to me. I think he's one of the best teachers on television. I'm talking about, of course, the incredibly talented seafood maestro, Rick Stein. See, now you're excited. Who loves Rick Stein? Yeah, me too. This is a tricky one, though, because Rick's actually in Malaysia right now as an ambassador for Malaysia Kitchen.
Oh my God.
So there's nothing else for it. The 2 lucky contestants just have to go to Malaysia. They're going to be going today for their own special private masterclass with Rick Stein. But wait, there's more. Rick will have a very special guest. He's Malaysia's #1 star chef with fans everywhere he goes. He's also been given Malaysia's equivalent of a knighthood for being Malaysia's food ambassador. He's the larger-than-life Chef Juan.
Clever girl. Rick, move over. It's my show.
If you think about it, this has to be, without doubt, the best ever private masterclass we've ever had on MasterChef. I don't think I'm exaggerating. No. Right? Incredible prize. This is a life-changing experience for someone. And today, 2 people are flying to Kuala Lumpur. The question is, who's it going to be? The first person that's going to jet away for their fabulous private masterclass with Rick Stein is... Rachel. Yes, Rachel. Rachel, the reason we picked you is because you did brilliantly for the Blues, and I think you led them in some way to victory, so well done. And you make sure you enjoy it.
Thank you so much.
One down, one to go. There's one seat left on the plane. I wonder who it should go to. The second person off to Malaysia today is... Kate. Kate, I think we forced you to tears. Are you a little bit emotional?
I just feel like I've had so many amazing experiences here already. To have another one is just incredible, and I can't believe I cried again. To be able to learn from someone like Rick Stein, who has so much knowledge, and to be able to go with Rach, it's going to be a really memorable, special
You know
time.
it's going to be a whirlwind. You're going to have to put it on record because you're not going to remember any of it.
Store it all away.
Huh?
Yep.
Right. Time to go. Go and enjoy your masterclass with Rick Stein and Chef World. Cheers.
Thank you so much.
See ya. Bye.
I'm so excited, and Kate and I are just going to have the best time in Kuala Lumpur. God, they won't know what's hit them. I know, let's go. I'm sorry. Guys.
First up in masterclass, we're going to take you back to the Spanish super invention test that you did earlier this week. Now, that was a challenge and a half. We took you out of your comfort zone, and we presented you with 3 pairs of traditional Spanish ingredients, and you had to choose one pair. You also had a trip to the pantry, and then you decided what dish you were going to cook out of that pair of ingredients. And then in typical MasterChef fashion, we changed the rules. We swapped your basket of ingredients and really shook things up. Some of you didn't do as well as you should have. So with that in mind, we're going to bring in one of this country's leading exponents in Spanish food. This guy's only been in our country for 7 years, so he's a newbie. And he's from Murcia in the south of Spain, in Andalusia. He's a great friend of mine, has incredible energy, and loves to work with those authentic Spanish ingredients. Please welcome Miguel Maestro.
I'm Miguel Maestre. I'm the owner, head chef of Aperitif. Spanish cuisine has got a lot of personality, color, passion, you know, excitement. All about a lot of fiesta, a lot of party, a lot of sangria. It's just so much feeling in it.
Ole! Toma ya.
How are you? All right.
Hola.
Good to see you.
Very good.
Welcome to MasterChef.
Hola, chicas.
So, Miguel, what are we cooking today?
Today we're cooking mountain rice paella.
Right, so what's the first step?
The first step is get the rabbit happening and do the marinade.
Okay.
So first
So I'm
thing-
going to help with that, the rabbit.
Please, I can just no wait, Gary, to see you getting into it again.
So break it down into chunks, nice meaty pieces.
Please,
All
yeah.
right.
And in the meantime, I'm gonna do the marinade. But I believe that I'm gonna need a hand for that.
Okay.
And I just cannot wait to choose one of these contestants.
Okay, I wonder who you're going to choose.
Can I go close?
Go grab one.
Can I please go grab one? Señorita, por favor. Come with me. Follow me, please. Follow me. Señorita, there you go. Please. Woo! Miguel.
Danny.
Mucho gusto. Okay? We're gonna do a marinade. For the marinade, mainly get the juniper berries, please. About 1 teaspoon of juniper berries. Yeah? The juniper berries, they got a beautiful tenderizing action. 1 teaspoon of cracked pepper. Okay. Teamwork. 1 teaspoon of salt, please. And the 3 garlic cloves. And we're gonna do it with a little bit of liquid now, so the olive oil and the sherry.
How much olive oil?
I'll fill you in. That'll be 60 mils there, I guarantee you that. And another 60 mils of sherry, please. So we go, the sweetness from the sherry, the fragrance from the pepper, and that juniper berries is slowly gonna break down that meat. And it's gonna be hips tender.
So
just
it's
get
a
into it,
tenderizer.
don't be shy. Just get into it. Nice, touchy, feely, yeah, I love it. Just get into it. Nice and rough, there, now we're talking.
So what I'm doing is just breaking the rabbit down into its principal parts first. I've taken the legs off, taken the loin off, the rack, the 2 front runners, and then what I'll do, I presume, is just take the meatiest parts of the flesh, leave a few pieces on the bone, maybe the little front runners on there, that'll be good. And then it's over to your marinade.
There you go, that's perfect now. So now, basically what we're gonna do, all the rabbit in the bowl, and this is my favorite part. When I get the whole touchy feeling. All this marinade needs to be rubbed inside the flesh. So basically, just get into it and rub all the meat and make sure you cover every single piece of rabbit.
You gonna have a go
Beautiful.
too?
You get into it, we can get it. This is really, really romantic. It's almost like the movie of Ghost.
Yeah, okay.
Like Patrick Swayze. It's like
Danny, Danny,
how you doing?
you are such a flirt.
How you doing? This is getting hot. And we basically gonna let this overnight.
Okay.
Very nice.
Let's have a go. Oh, that's gorgeous. Danny, I think you enjoyed that.
Yeah,
nice.
that was
Off you go.
Thank
Back to
you.
you. Back.
Señorita, mwah, mwah. Mucho gusto, thank you. Thanks very much. Bravo, bravo.
You've got one of these in the fridge already.
It's been overnight, it's
Okay.
infused.
So what's happened to that?
But we slowly tenderize the meat.
Yep.
And as well, we add in flavor towards the meat. Next step is start caramelizing the meat.
Okay.
But first, we still need to work the quails. So you're gonna give me a hand
Yep,
with
okay.
that. And basically, what we will do, just chop the legs off and cut them in the middle.
So just in half?
Yeah.
You can use a pair of scissors, be easy for this as well, wouldn't it? So,
Just cut the legs and the back.
yeah.
So around 30-40 mils of extra virgin olive oil. We need to hear that little sizzling. So that means that the pan is nice and hot.
Wow.
And we put the heat slightly down. And now we're gonna get all the protein, the rabbit, inside the pan. And we hear that lovely sizzling touch. Slowly we're gonna brown the meat for around a couple of minutes. At the same time, we infuse in that oil that will cook all the sofrito after. Now we do exactly the same with the quail pieces. We put the skin down. Now the morcilla is quite fatty as well. So all the fat is gonna slightly melt it through.
So what's morcilla?
Morcilla is a black sausage.
Okay.
We do in Spain, but this has got a little bit of mince through as well.
Okay.
Now we're gonna use the famous, well-known Spanish sausage all around the world.
Which is?
Chorizo.
How much sausage have you got in there?
We got a whole morcilla sausage, 1 morcilla sausage.
And how much chorizo?
1 chorizo sausage.
Okay.
And now we put this nice and hot, so we caramelizing.
Smells. Can you smell that?
Beautiful.
Absolutely
What
gorgeous.
we're gonna do is actually, we're not gonna cook it all the way through now, Gary.
Yep.
This is gonna be, we're just gonna sear it. Color means flavor. When you cook lamb or beef or chicken, the caramelization means flavor.
Beautiful. So you've caramelized all of the meat for the mountain rice paella. So you've got the chorizo, the morcilla.
Morcilla.
See the,
Your Spanish
good,
is
isn't it?
great.
The rabbit and the quail. What's next?
Next, we're gonna cook the sofrito, and after the rice.
After the break,
So everything get a little bit of love from that stock.
Miguel's spicy Spanish creation comes together and it's a taste sensation. And then our amazing Rick Stein Malaysian masterclass begins.
Of course, Malaysia is all about, for me, about the great seafood.
From the markets to Chef Juan's traditional appetizers.
Smell it, kid. How does it smell? Oh, wow, it smells. You tell me how it smells like.
It stinks.
And Rick's mouth-watering laksa.
You can taste the prawn in the sauce just as much as in the prawn.
And a little later,
It's not too rich.
Oh, yes, it is. It's fabulous.
Not rich at all.
Gary's in chocolate heaven with his devilishly delightful dessert.
You can feel the butter, can't you? We're here with Miguel Maestre, and we're making a mountain rice paella. We've caramelized all the meat off, that beautiful chorizo, morcilla. I just keep saying it now. Sounds good, doesn't it? The quail and the rabbit. What's next?
We're gonna do a sofrito.
Tell us what a sofrito is.
A sofrito is like the soul of the paella. The sofrito is all the components, they're gonna flavor the rice together. Taking back all those beautiful flavors from the meat before.
Okay. So all that sediment, that caramelization.
Beautiful. One thing is important, we need to put half of the oil. Yeah. We start with 30, and now the other 30 come in, okay?
So the oil's a crucial part of this.
Very, very important.
So first ingredient in?
First ingredient, 3 cloves of garlic. There you go, nice chunky slice. Slowly, as you can see, it's bubbling really, really slowly. And with a spoon at the same time, we can pick up all the little bits of flavor there in the base of the pan, as you can see.
So you're scraping off all that sediment, that juice from the meat. Beautiful.
Now, the herbs, we have half a bunch of thyme. Love the sound. Crackling, yeah. There you go.
Very Spanish, that sound.
Yeah, almost like dancing flamenco in the pan.
That smells
Can you believe it?
amazing.
And straight after, the oregano.
How much oregano?
Half a bunch as well.
Okay.
Next step, we got a big chunky capsicum. We just wanna caramelize it slightly because it's gonna cook after with the stock, so we don't wanna cook it too much so it breaks down and it gets lost. And now, 50 grams of blanched almonds.
Yep.
Okay. Next step, the big pinch of saffron. Now 1 teaspoon of sweet paprika.
Yep.
There you go, that's 1
Spanish
teaspoon
style
there.
on the tip of the sword.
There you go.
Is that smoked paprika?
Yeah,
or?
smoked and sweet. So it's a little capsicum, it's dry in the sun first, and that thing is being smoked. So you got so much flavor already happening in here.
Okay, so the almonds are toasting beautifully, that garlic is lovely and golden, the capsicum is blistered and softened. What's the next stage?
Ready to go, some sherry.
Yep.
Deglaze. It's my favorite part, 60 mils.
What kind of sherry do you use?
Just nice and sweet.
Okay.
Like the same sherry we use in the marinade. Now, stock goes in. We're using about 400 grams of rice.
Yep.
So now we will do around 1 liter of stock here with the 400 grams.
And like
of
you
rice.
say, this type of rice is going to absorb a lot of liquid. So that seems like a lot of liquid.
Yeah.
But in fact, that's just fine.
It will all disappear.
And that's just good chicken stock?
Very good chicken stock. So now, we bring this to a simmer, it's slightly bubbling now.
Yep.
And we're gonna put all the meat back in there. Okay. So it's gonna braise. Spread it out evenly, so we cover every single bit.
So is that important, the fact that you're placing it in?
Yeah, so everything get a little bit of love from that stock. The quail, the rabbit, this is just fantastic.
So what's the next?
The next step is the rice.
Just to try and explain it, is that when people go to the supermarket, what are they looking for? They're buying calispara?
No, they're buying bomba.
Bomba rice.
Bomba is the
so
species.
that is the species of rice.
Yeah.
So we're going to put the rice in now? Okay.
1 handful of rice is around like 75 grams, is 1 portion.
Okay.
So
you got big hands.
So there's 100, and we need 400 grams, and that's the 4th one.
So you've put 400 grams.
There you go.
Okay.
And now we're gonna give a little shake. So we make sure that all the rice is fitting under the stock. So we don't get any grains of rice, they get raw because they're actually not cooking. So we can help with a little spoon. But what is important as well, Gary, we don't touch in this paella anymore until it's cooked. 25 minutes.
Okay.
We just gonna go and have a siesta, and when we come back, the paella will be ready.
So the paella has been cooking for 25 minutes. I can hear
I can have my siesta.
How do we tell now that that's ready?
Because all the stock is gone, and you can see all the gaps, all the bubbles are coming up, and now you get a spoon, and you can feel all the little bits of crusty rice in the bottom. Doesn't need to be all over the paella pan. You just know when you just feel it somewhere.
Okay.
Okay?
That's beautiful. I tell you what, it just smells absolutely delicious. And it's very shiny as well. Let's pop this on a board.
Okay. Chicka, 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 chick. Mountain rice paella. There you go.
Yum. Who wants to taste? Hayden? Yes. Matt? And Danny, come on.
Bien.
Thank you.
Las señoritas primero, por favor.
Gracias.
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 I'm going to have a little bit too.
Yeah.
I'm a señorita.
Yeah, I want to get in on this. I've got to get to the bottom.
Yeah, get to the bottom.
Yeah.
That is amazing.
Thank you, Gary.
I feel all emotional.
Muchas gracias.
Yeah.
What do you think of that?
First of all, you get this big, massive hit of saffron, and then the texture of the crust is just perfect.
Danny?
It's absolutely beautiful. It's sweet, it's smoky, it's really intense, the flavour. I just want to eat the whole lot.
Hayden, can you describe that rice? Because I think that's fascinating.
That's what really stood out. You know, it can absorb so much liquid, but then still have that crunch at the end, and it's just amazing. It gives it another texture with the almonds and the beautiful soft sausage. It's spot on.
Yep. No, you know what? I think you should just leave a little bit for the rest of the guys to taste.
No, we'll leave it for you.
Thank you so much. Sit down.
Thanks very much.
So what are your top tips for the perfect mountain rice paella?
The perfect tips are, first thing, the marinade. We need to marinate the rabbit to achieve a beautiful flavor and to tenderize the meat. The number two, we need the bomba rice and we need the really good stock to achieve a beautiful flavor. And the third one is the socarrara. If it's not crusty bottom and it's not caramelization, it's not paella.
Miguel, Maestra, thank you so much for coming into
Thank you for having me, Gary.
See you again soon.
Pleasure. Thank you very much. Everybody, adios, amigos. Muchas gracias.
Up next,
I'm going to show you one of the most popular and iconic dishes of Malaysian cooking.
it's our fabulous Malaysian masterclass.
Are we going to make the milk?
We are. Yeah. Yes.
Rick heads to the markets to source the freshest ingredients for his laksa.
But they have such intense flavour, yeah?
And the wonderful Chef Juan starts his traditional appetizers.
Kate and I have just flown all the way to Kuala Lumpur for a private masterclass with Chef Rick Stein. I can't believe it.
Oh my God,
We're in Malaysia.
we're in Kuala Lumpur. Let's go shopping.
Okay. It's an assault on the senses. Everything we see, smell, touch, taste is extraordinary.
Hello.
Hello.
It's a bit busy.
It's an endeavour. Hello.
How are you? Rachel?
I'm Rachel.
Lovely to
Kate, well, very nice to meet you. I'm Rick Stein. I don't know if you've ever seen my programmes.
yes.
Oh, you have?
Yeah.
Oh, good. Gary and George asked me to do a masterclass in the Malaysian cooking for you. And I'm fortunate enough to be an ambassador for Malaysia Kitchen. And my job, I know you'll really hate the idea of this, is just to go around the world telling people about Malaysian
Oh, you're
cooking.
poor man.
I know, it's very unlucky. I think you're in for a real treat. We've got an awful lot to get through. You're going to meet the amazing Chef Juan, and he's going to be cooking up a couple of traditional appetizers. I'm going to show you one of the most popular and iconic dishes of Malaysian cooking, a laksa. It's going to be a prawn and chicken laksa.
Yum. Sounds good. Yeah.
As you can see, it's all about fresh ingredients, so let's go shopping.
Let's go.
We're buying ingredients for Rick's chicken and prawn laksa. Looking around the markets, everybody's yelling, there's so much noise, and you can smell all these different aromas. And then there's all these fruit and vegetables, and some of them are familiar, but some of them I've never seen before in my life.
Really, the heart of a good laksa is fresh coconut, not tinned coconut milk, but we need the grated coconut first. I just love watching this because it's such a good machine. If you do it yourself, it takes forever.
Are we going to make the milk?
We are. Yeah.
Oh.
So we need to have some whole prawns. We'd have half a kilo. Yeah. But they're lovely prawns. I mean, and of course, Malaysia is all about, for me, about the great seafood. Okay, thank you. Good. Some chilies.
Lots of chilies.
Well, these are dried shrimp. We've got to have some of those in the recipe. Well, that's about it. We've got everything we need now. I expect you might want to do a bit of shopping, wouldn't you?
Oh, yeah, I can shop.
Well, see you in about a couple of hours then.
Okay, thanks so much, Rick. See you soon.
I know I should be a little bit tired and overwhelmed, but I am so excited. I'm running on adrenaline. I'm having the time of my life. So Kate and I are going to go shopping.
Hello, how are you? Do you take the Commonwealth Bank travel money?
Yes, we do.
Oh, great.
Right.
Let's shop.
Oh, Maya would love that.
Altogether, 653.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
We've got a couple of hours before we meet Chef Juan, so we're off to see the sights of Kuala Lumpur.
Thank you.
Welcome to the tower. Going up to the tower,
Yes,
ma'am?
please. Thank you.
It's so beautiful.
I know, it's amazing. And the mountains.
Well, girls, you're about to meet Chef One. He is, seriously, he's like a god almost in Malaysia. He's that well known. And he's been voted the top celebrity chef in the world.
Oh, wow.
And he's a tireless promoter of Malaysian food. I mean, there's nothing he doesn't know about cooking here. But just maybe a little word of warning, he's just a tad larger than life.
Oh, okay.
Chef One.
Good day, good
Nice
day.
to see you.
Good to see you. Hello,
Rachel
girls.
and Kate.
Oh, God, I gotta wear one of those glasses. Let me have a look. Aren't they gorgeous? Welcome to Malaysia.
Thank you. Hello.
What are you gonna cook?
Well, today we're gonna make two wonderful dishes. First, we're gonna begin with this very old salad recipe called kerabu pucuk paku. And then the second recipe, which is called otak-otak. Now, this is fish mousse wrapped in banana leaf, kind of like a puzzle thing. It's so delicious.
Well, look, I'm just gonna let you get on with it.
What are you doing?
Well, it's all about you, you know.
Oh, move aside. It's showtime, girls. Come on, girls. In my kitchen, showtime. Bye, Ring. Bye. Okay, girls. Now, this is called the pucuk paku. In case some of you have never seen this, this is what we call the fiddlefen. Now, this normally is not eaten raw, but you could. You won't die out of it, yeah, but have a taste of it, you know, and then you have no idea how it is like, you know. It's very, very nutritious at the same time, yeah. A lot of fiber and all that. Now, it's grown everywhere. If you don't have this back home, you can also use spinach. So now, what I need to do for you to just peel out some and just feel how to do it. Now, for you, I'm gonna get you to make the sambal belacan, Rachel.
Yes.
Yeah. Now, sambal belacan in Malay community, yeah, is a table sauce. It's kind of a sauce that helps to lift you up, you know, when you eat something that's a bit boring. Because when we eat here in the Malay community, we have assortment of dishes. And sometimes you need a bit of spice to lift it up. So when you eat it, ooh, it's so delicious, yeah? And so this is what we call the sambal belacan. So all it is just shrimp paste. Smell it, Kate. How does it smell? Oh, whoa, it smells. You tell me how it smells like.
It stinks.
It stinks. It is made actually, yeah, of all these little shrimp, udang.
Okay,
yeah, it's been fermented.
Yes.
And then finally dried in the sun and becomes like that. So what we do here is you just need to break the chili, and you know what, Rachel? You're just gonna pound that and make a sambal belacan.
Okay.
So you ain't gonna get married until you learn how to make sambal belacan. So
Okay.
yeah, so you're gonna pound them away, the chili, yeah, and then we're gonna add also the belacan. But meanwhile, I'm gonna toast the belacan here.
Can
Now,
I ask you, Chef One?
Yes.
Does the shrimp paste taste like it smells?
No, not really. Once it's cooked and everything is blended, it is beautiful. I am going to add here my belacan or the shrimp paste that's been toasted. Okay, smell this. Once it's toasted, you don't have that strong smell anymore.
No, it's
not
gone.
bad, huh?
It's
Get that nice toasty thing.
Oh, better.
Here you are. Come on. Okay, so while that's happening, we're going to add some sugar inside there, just about 2 teaspoons, yeah, for that kerabu, pucuk paku. And of course, earlier on, we've added 2 teaspoons of the shrimp paste. Now, next, we're going to add in some dried shrimp, or we call here udang kering. Always remember, we soak them in hot boiling water for roughly about 10 minutes. If you want longer, half an hour is fine as well. So they kind of swell up, because remember, they were all dried out in the sun.
Oh, yeah.
But they have such intense flavor, yeah? Yeah. And we call this udang kencing. Kencing pula, udang kencing. Kencing is urine, you know? Udang kering. Okay, I'm going to add about 4 tablespoons there. So let's pound it away.
I'm pounding.
Udang kencing. Okay, Rachel, while you're almost done there, we're going to add in the pucuk paku right into the hot boiling water, yeah? We're just blanching it for just about, you know, less than a minute. Yeah, maybe Kate can help to scoop up this pucuk paku.
Sure.
Yeah, and you need to count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 9, 10, and then it's out. Okay? Okay, let's have a look at now. We have used this roughly about 300 grams of the fiddlefen pucuk paku. How are we doing here, darling?
Good, I think.
Good. All right. So that's about ready. Now we're just going to mix everything together. Come on, Kate. I want Kate to see the sambal belacan together with the udang kering, yeah? Because normally we make sambal belacan, we don't put the dried shrimp. Just sambal, that's just the chili, and then we have the lime juice as well as the belacan shrimp paste. Only 3 things, yeah? Now this is ready. Next thing we want to do here is we're going to add in the lime juice. Now, we have two choices. Now, typical Peranakan or the Nyonya cuisine, they love to use this calamansi lime called limau kasturi.
Oh, yes, yes.
And this is called limau nipis, which is lime, so you can use both. But this has a very interesting aroma. I just want to cut this and let you smell it. Yeah?
Oh, and it's orange.
Oh, what is it, you know?
Oh,
It's more...
Can?
Yeah.
It has that sweet smell.
Yes.
But, you know, it can be deceiving. It's not sweet. It's a bit sour because it's lime. Now we do what my grandmother do. She will squeeze. So roughly we use about 4 or 5 of this small lime. If we're going to use this lime, I think 1 is enough.
Okay.
Yeah? And next, girl, we have what we call here the kerise. Now, kerise is actually fried desiccated coconut. So have a look at this. Come on, Rachel, look at it.
Brown.
Yeah, it's brown. Now, I will think this dish would just fit, let's say, about 4 tablespoons, yeah? 3 to 4 tablespoons is okay. All right? And next, we're going to add a tablespoon sugar. Okay, now we add in here our coconut milk. Now, coconut milk, again, you can use 5 or 6 tablespoons. 5, 6. Next thing we want to do here is we're going to have the shrimp. Now, the shrimp has already been peeled, shell, and then, of course, we boil them, cook them, blanch them. So, roughly, you need about 200 grams into the salad. And lastly, we're just going to add in our, look at that, fiddle fern. And now, what we're going to do is just toss them together. Aha.
Easy.
Yes. So, the whole idea of this salad, girls, you must have that sense of balance. Spiciness coming from the chili, the aroma of that nice citrus and sour comes from the lime or the calamansi, Sweetness can be white sugar, or we also use palm sugar. It's possible as well, palm sugar, So all of that needs balancing. Oh, I can't wait for you to taste. Open your mouth. Is it too much? No. No. Ooh! Ooh! I mean, tell me what is that wonderful experience?
It's beautiful. It's I really like the textures. There's the crunch of the coconut and also of the leaves. And it's not as spicy as I thought it was going to be. There was a lot of chili that went in, but it's not spicy because it's all balanced out.
By the coconut milk?
By the coconut milk, and also I think by the lime.
And what is your opinion, Rachel?
I really like the toasted coconut. It brings so much texture and crunch to it. And I like the lime with the fennel fern.
Fiddle fern.
Fiddle fern.
Yes. Okay, there you are. Our first dish, ladies, called Krabu Pucuk Paku, or simply means the fiddle fern salad together with fresh prawns.
Fiddle fern salad, I can say that.
Okay, Kate and Rachel, these are my 3 very important tips, Number 1, the fiddle fern has to be cooked just right. Very important that less than a minute because you want that texture. Number 2, you're going to have that sense of balance between sweet, sour, spicy. And lastly, of course, the shrimp paste. Often people make mistake by buying old shrimp paste and they are very nasty. And there you are, our first Malaysian appetizer. Yay! Isn't that fabulous? Yay!
When we return...
Oh God, this makes great facial. While you work, you can also do facial,
Chef Juan has his second sensational appetizer.
It's delicious,
Then later...
One really rich slab.
Gary goes all out with his amazing chocolate marquee.
All right, ladies, we are moving to our second traditional appetizer recipe. This is called otak-otak, or simply means in English, a fish mousse. So the first thing you want to have here is all this lovely fish mousse. Now, this is mackerel, so it is boneless. So what we need to do is take all this boneless mackerel here and just simply chop it. See that?
Chef Juan, if you couldn't find mackerel, what other fish could you use?
For example, when you have all that whiting, you can nail that. Even barramundi is nice.
Oh, yeah.
Fillet, snapper, and make sure, like I said, no bones, Unless your husband is nasty to you, leave the bone, okay? And finish, So once it's done, all we need to do is just add the fish into the bowl.
Can you do that step in a food processor?
Yes, of course you can put in a food processor. You can just grind them because all you need to do is to make sure that you ground them really fine.
Yes.
Now, next step, we're going to make the spices. Now, this is simply chili paste. Almost like the sambal belacan we did,
Yes.
but a different version. This is more the Peranakan style of basic spices that we commonly use. Yeah. For example, you need 4 red chili. So all you need to do is just break them like that. And remember, we don't have to pound everything. We can do that, you know, a little bit at a time. Yeah. So next, 3 pieces of shallot. So you go there. Once this goes in, the next thing we want to do here, we have this wonderful aromatic ingredient. Now, in a typical Malay cuisine, you remember we have all that spicy chili from either green chili, red chili, or the small chili padi.
Yeah.
And then we have the perfume. And where does it come from? The aroma comes from this wonderful turmeric. Smell it. Yeah. So the turmeric, 2 centimeter turmeric, and they do stain your finger.
Fresh.
Yeah, fresh. Yeah, you can smell that. And then also the lemongrass. So we kind of slice them very thinly like that. Yeah. And put them inside. And then, of course, we're also going to add inside here, yeah, our young ginger. Just about 2 centimeter ginger. Lastly, we have here the candle nut. This is something very unique. Yeah,
I've never seen before.
It's almost like macadamia nut. So I'm just going to put fork and then a garlic. Yeah, should be enough. So all of that goes inside, and you're going to pound it. Yeah, have a go. Have a go. Have a go. Yes. Now, all this needs to be pounded until it's really fine. I would say 15 minutes, yeah, 10 minutes slowly, really into a nice paste. Wow, kid, you're giving that a go. Huh? I can feel like, let me see your muscle. Oh, let me see your flour. Oh. Good old Australian woman, huh? Good. Now, very simple. All you need to do is scoop in the paste. Now, remember, we have all that wonderful fragrance. We need a bit of acid as well, huh? Yeah. So you want to squeeze a bit of that lime juice, yeah, into, and so that it's not so fishy. Now we are going to add a little bit of this turmeric leaf, yeah.
Yes.
So you see, we add this as a wonderful aromatic. Yeah. Now after adding about 1 turmeric leaf, it's big, you use half.
Okay.
If it's small, you use whole, yeah. So now we're gonna add in a bit of sugar, yeah, a bit of sugar, as well as salt.
How much?
A teaspoon.
Okay.
Yeah. And lastly, we need this wonderful rich coconut milk. Now this one, you need about a 1/4 cup. So
it's
now
so colourful.
Yeah, so you have all that. And the next thing you do is just mix all the paste together. You can do that, Rachel.
Yes.
While I am going to show you how we're going to soften the banana leaf so that it's easy for us to fold. Don't burn them, just go them lightly like that. So how are we doing that, darling?
Is that beautiful?
Yes, gorgeous.
Good.
Aren't we gorgeous, darling?
Yes.
Yeah, gorgeous. Okay, so now having done that, now next we want to do, I'm going to show you how we're going to wrap. It's so simple, yeah? So all you need to do, take a piece of that. Now you're going to help me. Take one that, yeah? Turn that off. You take that one that. So you just need to take a bit like that, yeah? And then we're just going to steam the parcel.
Does it need to be
Yeah.
shiny side up?
No.
Doesn't matter?
No, doesn't matter, you know. So you just fold like that lah. We don't have to use skewers, nothing. Okay, then we put inside here the steamer. Woo! Oh God, this makes great facial. Huh? While you work, you can also do facial. Huh? Woo! So we put them inside bamboo skewers and steam it. Oh, beautiful, darling. Sudah siap. There you are. Ta-da-da! Woo! And we are going to steam this for roughly about 15, 16 minutes. You know, depends on the size, but this one I think will go for 15 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah? Okay, ladies, I think that's about right. Da-da-da-da-da. Olé! Like the flamenco dancer. I'm telling you, it's delicious.
It smells beautiful.
Oh, it's divine.
You can smell the coconut milk.
Yeah. This, I'm going to open this up, okay? Ooh! Otak, otak. So, yeah, so like I said, you can also grill them or you can also steam them.
Smells
now,
beautiful.
taste them.
The lemongrass, it's so fragrant.
Yeah.
And the turmeric.
Turmeric.
Beautiful.
Okay. Tell me about the texture.
I'm not sure, I'll have to try again.
It's delicious, huh?
That is really good.
It's good. That's it? You don't get any more? No. It's late night? No. Well, ladies, remember we have 3 very important golden tips. Number 1, the fish has to be fresh and boneless. Number 2, make sure that you have all those wonderful fresh herbs. Very important. Number 3, make sure when you want to steam something, heat up your steamer. Well, ladies, I hope you have learned a lot from these two recipes. I mean, for me, it's such an incredible experience to be here with all of you.
It has been such a privilege to be here with you, so thank you so much.
I've enjoyed every minute, Chef.
Thank you, Rachel. Listen, I wish you all the best, and you too,
you.
okay, in your masterclass, and hopefully we get to see each other again, yeah?
I hope so.
All right, and thank you, and thank you for coming to Malaysia.
Thank you so much for having us.
Next on Masterclass.
I'm going to make up the curry paste. They call it rempah in Malaysia.
Rick has the secrets for cooking a traditional Malaysian laksa. And coming up...
So now, we're going to pour this warm mixture over the buttery cocoa. This smells delicious.
Gary's rich and creamy chocolate marquee.
Day 2 in Malaysia, we're just grabbing a quick coffee. Yesterday we got all the ingredients to make this laksa. And finally we're off to meet Rick Stein to make that laksa.
We've just arrived at Lake Gardens. It is such a tranquil place in the middle of a big city. I'm really excited about learning all the nuances of what's going to make a truly Malaysian laksa.
Hello.
Good morning, Rick.
Well, how was it, the Chef One?
Very entertaining.
Oh, he's such a laugh, isn't he?
Such a colourful character.
He taught us a lot.
Oh, good. All right. Well, I'm sure there's nothing I can talk to you about Malaysian food that he hasn't taught you already.
I'm sure there still is.
Laksa. Got to be laksa, most famous dish, certainly an Australian Malaysian dish. This is a prawn and chicken curry laksa. Maybe lots and lots of fresh coconut milk. So first of all, I just want you to do a couple little jobs for me, really. First, I don't think I need to tell you girls how to peel prawns, but and I want the shells.
Okay.
So if you can get
do you
on
want
with
me
that.
to do that? Okay.
Yeah, that'd be good. So while you're peeling the prawns, which I can see you're doing most expertly, I'm going to make up the curry paste. They call it rempah in Malaysia. So first of all, about 20 grams of fresh ginger. And then next, some fresh garlic, about 15 grams.
How many cloves would that be, roughly?
It's 3 fat ones. Then we've got a couple of lemongrass stalks, which I've already chopped up. The secret about using a mortar and pestle is everything needs to be chopped up a little before you start. Then I've got about 75 grams of shallots, or echallots, you call them?
Yes.
A couple of teaspoons of dried shrimp. Remember this stuff?
Shrimp paste.
It just stinks, doesn't it?
Chef One gave us a big, deep breath of it.
A couple of teaspoons of that, let's say 1.5 of those. Then about 20 grams of cashew nuts, but you can use macadamia nuts. You want quite a nice sort of fatty nut for this. Now then, where's my teaspoon? This is fish curry spice, and you can get this in special shops in Australia now. So probably a couple of teaspoons of that. And then actually I have got fresh turmeric, which we saw in the market yesterday, which you can get in Australia now. You're so lucky.
Yeah, it's fantastic.
So that's about 20 grams of fresh turmeric. And finally, the chilies. That's about 4 large of those finger chilies we saw yesterday. Bit of oil just to let everything go. And some salt. Probably about half a teaspoon of salt. So there we go. OK, so now we just have some fun. That's the bit I really like. Back home, a small food processor is probably what you'll end up using, which is ideal, really. So that looks pretty good, pretty smooth, and the right sort of consistency. So we'll put that to one side for a minute. And just make sure you got your prawns done.
Yes, Chef.
Good that you kept the heads and the tails, because there's so much flavour in these heads and tails. First of all, I'm just going to fry these in a little bit of oil, and then I'm going to make a stock with them. So we'll just put those in there like that. Just getting a bit of flavour. You get a lot of sort of caramelisation when you fry prawn shells. That's about 250 grams of prawns shell on. So that's looking pretty good now. So I'm just going to add about a litre or so of water. And then we just leave that to simmer away for quite a long time, about 30 minutes. Now, the next thing I would quite like to do is to fry the tofu here. I'm not that familiar with tofu. It's not something I deal with a great deal, but I have found that if you fry it, it gives a lovely crispness to it. I think a lot of people find just plain tofu a bit boring. So I think we'll go for about 200 grams of tofu, I suppose. So we're just going to put those in the pan and fry them till they're crisp on either side. There we go. You haven't got anything to do. You can pick some of these, the mint and coriander. Right, now the other thing I want to show you is we got the coconut yesterday. So I'm looking for about 400 millilitres of milk. And you use really about equal quantities by volume. So just under half a litre.
So just covering it, is it?
Yeah, it's just equal quantities. So if you just weigh it out in a measuring jug, you can see it's got a bit of husk and all that in there. So you
and that doesn't matter?
Nah. So what we need to do now is just put a sieve like that and push it through. You can squeeze it, if you like, with your hands.
That is so easy.
Yeah, it is, isn't it? OK, that tofu should be done by now. Can we have some paper or... What I love about girls in the kitchen is that they've always got these things to hand. I'm a bit of a sort of boy when it comes to...
Often in a handbag.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
OK, right, we're just about ready with this stock now. That's a bit hot. That's been simmering away nicely, so we'll just drain that off.
And the colour of it,
yeah,
so
yes.
orange.
And that's the colour I'm looking for in the laksa
look.
anyway. See? Good. Well, we've made the paste, we've got the tofu done, we've got the stock done, we've got the coconut milk done. Now I need to cook the laksa.
When we come back...
And the rest of making this is just really quick.
Rick's killer laksa comes together in a flash.
What do you think?
It's so creamy.
It is, it's
and
creamy.
the prawns are just yum.
We're now ready to cook the prawn and chicken curry laksa. First of all, let's get the spice paste back up and into the dish. We need some oil, first of all. Now what I'm going to do is cook it for about 3 or 4 minutes, just to drive off all the moisture. I always say cook it till it splits.
Oh, OK.
And that means really when you look at it and you can see the ingredients all splitting, because we've got to cook out the turmeric and the garlic and the shallots. You can see that's beginning to split already.
Yeah. The vibrant colour.
Yeah.
It's just beautiful.
So this is about, what, 3 minutes, do you think, on a high heat? OK, the prawn stock. Stir that around a little bit.
Do you want me to stir it?
Oh, would you?
No worries, thank you.
Good. I mean, the rest of making this is just really quick. Just add that as well.
Smells unreal.
It does, doesn't it? And it looks good. Now, the other ingredients, about a tablespoon of palm sugar. We're going to put about 160 grams of chicken in there. Cook it for a couple of minutes. There we go. We just pop the prawns in there as well. There we go. I think we'll cook those for a couple of minutes. That's almost done, apart from, of course, the noodles. Before I put the noodles in, I'm just going to put some fish sauce in. Now, this isn't totally kosher in Malaysia, but Chef One uses fish sauce. It's really instead of salt, and it's more of a Thai ingredient, a couple of tablespoons of that. So we're nearly ready to go, but for the noodles. Now, I've used egg noodles here, and you can drop them into boiling water, but I'm just going to put them straight in, about 400 grams. So I'm using egg noodles, but you can use rice noodles, or you can use both if you like the contrast. Right, now to bowl it up. Just going to put a few things in the bottom. First of all, some cooked green beans, like that. This is just for one, by the way. I've done enough for 4. Send some of the tofu and some bean sprouts. OK, let's get cracking with adding all that lovely sauce and noodles. There we go, 1 more spoonful and then some of that delicious juice. So creamy, isn't it?
Oh, yum. It looks beautiful.
Delish. OK, maybe 1 more. I think this is a 2-man bowl, not a 1. Right, then we just finish with a few things on top. Wonderfully expertly picked mint and some coriander slightly wilting under the sun, but there we go. And now this isn't too hot. This is called sambal olek. It's just minced up chilies, a bit of oil, a bit of sugar and a bit of salt. So I put a nice dollop right in the middle, but you would need to make sure that wasn't too hot. Finally, we just need to squeeze a bit of lime on there, I think. That'll be essential to me. Well, ladies, that's my Kuala Lumpur prawn and chicken curry laksa. Now the all-important tasting.
OK, I'm ready.
Right.
It's beautiful.
It does, doesn't it? It's just the colours of Malaysia. Well. What do you think?
It's so creamy.
It is. It's
and the
creamy.
prawns are just yum.
What they say about, you know, those little shrimps I put in there, that gives it a really pleasing grainy texture as well.
And you
The
can taste the prawn in the sauce just as much as in the prawn. And the lime juice on the top actually just gives it that balance.
Absolutely, yeah.
And the fresh herbs. Just
Well.
add a real vibrancy. Yum.
Well, I would say that the 3 top tips about this dish. First of all, fresh ingredients.
Definitely.
Getting all those ingredients in the market. The second tip, well, use the prawn heads and shells. I mean, it makes so much difference to the finished gravy. And thirdly, don't overcook your noodles. You just need to drop them in, they're done. Well, it's time to say goodbye. Kate, Rachel, it's been such fun.
It's been a lot of fun.
I hope you've sort of appreciated how wonderful the flavours of Malaysia are.
Absolutely. Thank you so much for showing them to us.
Well, good luck in the competition. I'll be going for you.
Oh, thank you so much.
Lovely, lovely girls.
We really have loved meeting you and appreciate all that you've shown us.
The pleasure. The pleasure's all mine.
Oh, thank you so much, Rick. Bye. See you later.
Bye.
Ahead on Masterclass, Gary's decadent dessert.
So I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate sponge and a basic rich chocolate mousse.
A double chocolate delight for the chocolate connoisseur.
Next up on Masterclass, we're going to revisit one of our special guests, which was Nigella Lawson. Everybody squealed and was so excited she came on the show, and she is the queen of desserts, undoubtedly. Nigella is renowned for those sumptuous, sexy chocolate desserts, so that's what I'm going to make you. A little tribute to Nigella Lawson's visit to MasterChef. I'm going to do a chocolate marquee with chocolate sponge and sugar plums poached in Pedro Jimenez, which is a black sherry. Cakes aren't that hard, chocolate mousse is not that hard. It's easy to throw something together. Take 2 simple recipes, put them together, like this one, and you'll make a winner. So I'm going to show you how to make a chocolate sponge and a basic, rich chocolate mousse. So I need a volunteer to come and help me with the chocolate sponge. Who's really bad at pastry? Matt, you're right.
Matt, that looks horrid. It's not acceptable.
Come up here. Head down in shame. Right, this is a very basic sponge mixture. So what we're going to do is going to make a sabayon, which is a foam with the egg yolks and some honey and sugar. And we're also going to make another foam, which is just whipped egg whites, all right? We're going to fold those 2 together and then stabilise it. In this case, it's flour and corn flour. So first up, egg whites into the bowl. There's 6 egg whites in there. Right, whack it on full bore. That's it. Little sprinkle of sugar, about a tablespoon. And that just starts the process. As it starts to aerate, what we're going to do is going to rein in half of that total amount of sugar. There's about a cup of sugar there. That's it. And allowing your meringue, or allowing that egg white to whip up first before you put the sugar in, actually will give you a great result at the end of it. So we'll let that whip until it's nice and soft and just peaking. Come over here, 6 egg yolks, pop them in the bowl. In they go. Yep. Pop that down, start the whipping, and then what we want to do is we're going to put in 2 tablespoons of golden syrup. Let's add that to the egg yolks. You just like to aerate it a little bit, and then use your spatula to scrape it in. We'll come back to that in a second. And remember, I use the golden syrup because it'll give it a different depth of flavour. Set the machine off again, right, so you can turn that on full. And what we're going to do is add the other half of that 1 cup of sugar into the yolks. What I'm looking for is a really thick, silky ribbon, which means that they're fully aerated, nice and silky from the sugar. So it's really stable. So you've got a very stable foam when you fold it together before you add the dry ingredients. I think they're good. Oh, let's turn it off. Let's have a look at those. See how white and silky they are? Now we've turned the egg whites off, so we can take both bowls off the machine. Now the next stage, we've got both of these egg whites and egg yolks aerated, nice and shiny. I've got some dry ingredients that we need to fold into this foam now, which is half a cup of plain flour, 3/4 of a cup of corn flour, and 1/4 of a cup of cocoa powder. Let's pop all of those ingredients in. And important to sieve as well, because there are lumps in there, you know, whether it's the corn flour or the cocoa powder. And if you don't get those little lumps out or push them through the sieve, what's going to happen when you fold it all together, you're going to have that little bit of raw cocoa powder or flour in the middle of your cake when it's cooked. So that's not great. So what we're going to do is you are going to stir these dry ingredients in a folding type action into the egg yolks. So I'm going to put in about half of it first. Off you go. Just fold that in. That's it. And remember, you're going around in a nice circle, but every so often go through the middle as well, so you fold all those ingredients in. Let's put the rest of it in. The risk is, if you're not gentle at this stage and you're bashing it around, you lose that aeration that you've worked so hard to put into the egg yolk. So now what we're going to do, like making a souffle almost, is we're going to put in about a third of this egg white, all right? And then you want to fold and incorporate that. And the whole idea of that is a very stiff batter now. So we're going to lighten it up so that it's much easier then to fold in the other 2/3 of the egg white and keep that mixture nice and light, all right? You can be a little bit more aggressive, and remember that you can turn the bowl. So I always turn the bowl and then go through the middle and then around and then turn the bowl. It's a very sort of set pattern. Good, well mixed. So what I want you to do, Matt, is put that chocolate mixture into that egg white. Sure. Looks good, doesn't it? Does it feel nice?
Feels good.
OK, start folding. Same way, same technique. Right the way around. Make sure you're scraping it right around the edge of the bowl. Now, I've got a couple of trays, a couple of sheets of baking paper, all right? And all I want you to do is just spray and then divide a bit of the mixture onto each of the trays. So I'll show you the first one. We need to put in, hopefully, about a third of this mixture. So what we do is just spread it out thinly. And you can make almond bases, you can colour these, all right? There's lots of things. You can flavour them.
Add some nuts or something?
Yep. Put all sorts of things in there, right? That's good. So, one, you do the other two, so you can divide the mixture, you know, so you've got a nice bit of filling. Put it right in the middle. So essentially, these aren't going to rise a huge amount because they're not in a frame, they're not in a cake tin. And obviously what they're caked in is keeps one thing happening, and that's it contained, and the only way it can go is up, right? Whereas this is on a tray. So we're looking for a different result here. Matt, the sponge mixture is onto the tray, so all we've got to do is pop these into the oven, 170 degrees, so it's a moderate oven, for about 4 to 5 minutes until it starts to set. You can cook it until you get a little tinge of golden brown, but it's really not that necessary. It's about setting that foam, setting that sponge. Cheers, Matt. Thank you very much. Mr. Cake, start practicing. So while the sponges are cooking, we're going to poach some sugar plums in Pedro Jimenez, which is a dark sherry that goes beautifully with chocolate, and a little bit of sugar. So simple sugar syrup, essentially. Got a cup of sugar, and then just a dash of the black sherry, all right, until I decide that I want to stop, which will be about now, OK? So pop that onto the boil. There's about a cup and a half in there, roughly. That's a Gary cup and a half, which is about half a bottle. We're going to bring that to the boil, and we're going to let it just reduce a little bit. This sugar syrup has been boiling for 4 to 5 minutes. It's got a little bit more syrupy, and it's about now that I want to throw my sugar plums in. So rather than chuck them in that big pot where they're not covered, I'm going to throw them into a smaller pot because I've reduced the syrup. And just drop these in and just let them cook in that hot syrup. All right, and with a bit of residual heat from that pan, they should be good in about 5 to 10 minutes, all right? So sponges have been in the oven for about 5 minutes. They're just set and starting to tinge a little golden. Our sugar plums are steeping in that Valdespino Pedro Jimenez syrup. So next up, we're making the chocolate mousse.
Still to come.
This is where Gary gets in a mess, right?
Gary's easy-to-make chocolate mousse is the final element for his chocolate marquee.
I'd probably forego an entree to eat that.
Wow. Have another spoonful.
OK, good.
Yeah? So what we're making is a chocolate marquee with chocolate sponge and sugar plums poached in Pedro Jimenez. So now we need to make the chocolate mousse. Nice and easy, but a marquee is a little richer than that standard mousse. So this recipe has got quite a bit of butter in it, all right? So I'm sorry for all those hearts out there, but we're going to struggle on this one a little bit. So first step, chocolate mousse. OK, and we need a good quality bitter chocolate. So we're using a chocolate with a high cocoa mass, so it needs to be about 70%. So I know this is a 200-gram bar, and I know that if I take these two, they're for later, snacks, OK? And then I just break the rest of this into the bowl. So I've got 145 grams of chocolate, I've got 250 grams of sugar, so it's quite sweet. You can reduce that if you want. I've got 240 grams of egg yolk, okay? Seems a lot. Now remember, in a lot of our recipes, chefy recipes, we weigh things like egg yolk and egg white. And the reason for that is obviously eggs vary in size. Now on top of that, 100 grams of honey. Gee, it's sweet, isn't it? So now what I'm going to do is just pop this, I'll give it a little bit of a mix, and I'm going to pop this onto like a little bain-marie. So I've filled, you know, the pot with about 3 to 4 inches of water. Just pop it on the top and just let that residual heat gently start warming that sugar, egg and chocolate mixture. So we'll just leave that do its thing for a few minutes and then go over to the mixer. So I've got 270 grams of soft butter. There's more than one chocolate mousse recipe. The most basic is just melted chocolate and cream. And we always do that one on telly because it's easy and it makes us look clever, right? So what we're going to do is we're going to mix that until it gets nice and creamy. Then we're going to drop in the cocoa powder and then mix it again until I have this nice chocolatey, buttery mixture. Now that butter's soft, I'm going to add 165 grams of cocoa powder. And we'll just let that gently incorporate and then turn it up to make it nice and whippy. That's lovely. This mixture smells beautiful now. It's melted, it's nice and soft, the sugar's dissolved. So we're pretty much there. So what we're going to do is we're going to combine the melted chocolate, sugar and egg mixture with that soft butter. And then we're going to fold in the whipped cream. Sun, you got a question?
I was just wondering if that was unsalted butter?
All pastry recipes, I would use unsalted.
Yeah.
Gives you a lot more control. In most of the cooking that I do at work, I use unsalted butter because then at least you can add salt to taste. So I've got about 2 cups of whipped cream. So 450 mils whipped up soft peaks, all right? So now we're going to pour this warm mixture over the buttery cocoa. This smells delicious. So what we want to do is just incorporate this soft butter. So we've sort of got this tempering thing going on here where it's just melting the butter. Can you see how silky it's going? So we're going to put in the cream and mix it through this marquee just to lighten it up a little bit, but not too much, because I want that rich, dense, chocolatey flavour. And again, using that folding motion just to make sure that it's fully incorporated. And then what we're going to do is pour that into the terrine mould and then layer it with the sponge. So look, our marquee mixture is ready. So now we're going to build this chocolate terrine. So we've got our sponge pieces. And the simplest way of doing this is to press the mould on top of the chocolate, leaves a faint imprint, and then to cut along the line so you know that it fits inside the terrine. And then all we've got to do, if we want 3 layers, is cut to length. And don't forget, you can freeze this sponge. A lot of pastry work, especially sponges, things like that, work really well straight out of the freezer. All right, now let's fill. This is where Gary gets in a mess, right? So chocolate mousse in. So I'll put a layer in that's about 2 centimetres. Then I want to measure this off and hopefully, I'm just guessing. It's a typical chef doing pastry work, right? Pretty good though. And then pop the chocolate in again. If you want to, you can soak that sponge with a little of that Pedro Jimenez syrup. I think I'll put a 3rd layer in. So we filled the mousse to the top, all right? And then what we're going to do is we're going to fold over the ends first and then just fold each side in. Pop it in the fridge. We'll come back to it a little later. So that terrine's been in the fridge for a couple of hours. The chocolate's done its work, tightened up. Now, hopefully, we should be able to slice it. Fingers crossed. What's going to be a problem is that if you're not careful, because that marquee is so dense, it's just going to stick all over it. So you can put a warm cloth around it. So we'll see if we can plate this up now. So we're just going to do a nice slice. One really rich slab. And then what I've got is some whipped cream and some mascarpone. And then what I'm going to do is just grate a whole lot of white chocolate inside. So just fold that together. I'm just going to put a little quenelle right in the middle. So last bit are those plums that we poached in the Pedro Jimenez. So we'll pop a couple on the plate. and then just drizzle with that syrup. So that's my chocolate marquee with chocolate sponge and sugar plums poached in Pedro Jimenez. So who wants to consume an extra few thousand calories?
Yeah.
Yes. Yes. Me too. Craig, up you come. Ali. And Billy, up you come. Oh, yeah. Right. Somebody eat first. Yep, Ellie, why not?
Yum.
Oh my God.
You can feel the butter, can't you?
But it's not too rich.
Oh, yes, it is. It's fabulous.
Wow.
The plum.
I'm impressed. Billy, what do you think?
It's just silky smooth. The marquee, it's amazing. And then the Pedro Jimenez, after reducing, it's just really like almost syrupy molasses. It's quite amazing.
Ellie?
I love those plums. They just burst in your mouth. So nice. And it's actually not too rich.
I can't believe you're saying that.
I think this is the first time I've said this, but I'd probably forego an entree to eat that.
Wow. Have another spoonful.
Oh, okay, good.
Yeah?
Good, yeah, thanks. Yeah.
Remember the recipe?
Yeah.
Good work for you one day. Thanks very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Oh, there's none there. I know, it's too good.
So 3 top tips for making this great little chocolate dessert. First of all, the sponge. Understand the process, the aeration of the egg whites and sugar, and the egg yolks and sugar, and then folding those two together with some sort of stabilizer. Number 2, making that rich chocolate mousse. I've used butter and cream. It seems very extravagant, but obviously the butter makes it denser and richer and gives you that lovely silky finish. And number 3, poaching fruit with residual heat. There's enough heat in a hot syrup just to draw through into the fruit, just to cook it enough so that it's absolutely delicious. I think we all know it's been a big week and we've enrolled a few new culinary superstars into our MasterChef family. I hope you've enjoyed it. I hope you picked up a few tips from today's masterclass. Come up, grab some food, and let's celebrate. Right, guys, a little attention. 16 of you. The competition is all ahead of us now. I'm getting excited. I know what's coming. And if you think we've had some superstars on the show this week, then I promise you it only gets better from here on in. So here's to the competition. May the best man or woman win. Here's to you. Cheers.
Next time on MasterChef Australia.
You are cooking my food, so make me proud.
Legendary chef Neil Perry.
He set a jumbo-sized challenge for you all.
Oh my gosh, we have to plate up 27 portions of Neil Perry's first-class menu.
For the winner, a chance at immunity. And an incredible bonus.
Every chef would give their right arm for this prize.
All they have to do is cook perfect dishes for the best chefs in the world.
Between them, they command 9 Michelin stars.
Even I'm scared now.